Yeah, hello there. This is Nick Dutch, back on the camera again one more time. The reason I'm doing this one particular video is because of the video done by, I think his name is, or YouTube channel name is Big Fat Agnostic Dude. I think he's formerly Agnostic Man 77, in which he did a video in which he expressed a certain level of sympathy with some aspects of 911 truth. The particular aspect that he mentioned was starting to believe that maybe there were bombs actually in the building, which is why the planes could make the buildings collapse. I thought it was good of Agnostic Man 77 or whatever name he wants to go by, to point out that what he was saying was where his views were and was not necessarily in an expression of anything else. And I guess what he was trying to do was to engage with people who would have different points of view to this one. That's just a wild bit of speculation on my part. That was his intention. I mean, otherwise, what is the purpose of the video apart from just to try and express some deep felt emotional concern? What I would say is something maybe a little more broad-minded, because you and I will not know. I mean, you as in whoever you are, and me as in whoever I am, will not know each and every single fine detail of what happened on that day, September the 11th, 2001. We just won't know where each and every single molecule of concrete was, or each and every single particle of explosive, and the precise weights and measures and strains and stresses and all the rest of that is concerned. Well, there will always be some unknowns. No matter what, always some unknowns. But then again, we got to sort of think about what we do know. And Agman 77 was basically talking about his understanding had come from watching so many videos, all of the 911 truth stuff, all the things about the Twin Towers, about Building 7, and so on and so forth. So, are we really looking at the phenomenon that happened on September the 11th, 2001, or are we looking at the phenomenon which has happened on YouTube since that date? In practice, in reality. That would be the first question I would ask. Okay. Secondly, I would say that, and this is something I've mentioned before, and I've recently tweeted this on Twitter, that there is no such thing as news. There is only punditry. Alright, which I think, I mean, obviously there are some facts in the world. There are some hard and fast facts in the world. Like, the casing on this thing is made out of plastic. That is a hard and fast fact, okay? But if I was to create something that looks just like this, but make it out of wood and maybe paint it and varnish it so it looks just the same, and then show it to you on camera and say this is the outer casing of this is made out of plastic, that would be a bit of punditry you would have seen from me. Or alternatively, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the outer casing on this is in fact made out of wood anyway, and I have just made it, varnished it and labeled it to make it look like it is made out of plastic. So whether we're dealing with the truth or the facts or not, we're still dealing with punditry no matter what. Alright, now, the way the world is constructed, the we humans have constructed it, is that we are in a sea, a veritable ocean of ideas and arguments. Alright? And every single one, if you were just exposed to that one particular argument, it would seem reasonably convincing. Because that's what arguments do, they seem reasonably convincing. Okay? There may be something wrong with them, but they seem reasonably convincing. Then you have a look at another argument, another point of view. They may be showing you the same bit of information, but they may be presenting it differently. Okay, the same piece of information might look the same, sound the same, might seem to perform the same way, but they'll put another spin on it. And that'll change the message. So all you've got is different arguments. So maybe you got to think about who you are and who you want to be in terms of arguments and views and values and politics. Because all of these arguments are politics. All right? They're little bits of political ideology which is being expressed by a video. So what politics do you want to be involved with and why? All right. Next, you've got to think about what politics you've already got, which arguments you already agree with, and why you agree with them. Taking into account you do not have the full facts. You don't. All you have is the full punditry from various different sources. That's all. So a bit of doubt and a bit of self-doubt can go a long way. Then, sorry about that, I got a bit of popcorn in my throat. Then you can use your knowledge of reasoning, rationality, and logical fallacies to challenge the views and values and politics which you already agree with. And thus to change and grow. But then you may be lost in thinking like, I don't know what I am anymore. I don't know what I think anymore. I've lost my identity here. But on the other hand, would you possibly be creating for yourself a new one through the process of losing the old one? The answer to that would be yes. So, if we were to return to the idea of, did the planes cause the fall of the Twin Towers, or did bombs cause the fall of the Twin Towers? Well, I don't think the steel was melted. I think the steel was weakened by the heat. I think the heat was intense. I would say there's enough energy in those planes to probably do it. I don't think there was bombs there. But what do I want to be seen as? I mean, if I was trying to get like the Alex Jones supporters on my side somehow to get them to do some kind of evil political action, I would go on about the Illuminati, I'd go on about bombs and nanothermite and all the rest of it. Not because I believed in it. Not because I believed it at all, but because I just wanted to try and get a group of people who have a certain quantity of political values on my side. But being a deist, I'm actually pretty independent of like most political thoughts. I mean, I'm pretty anti-Nazi. That much you can't say about me. But I'm pretty independent, so I really wouldn't want to do that. I would carry on being like critical of both or all perspectives until such time as I feel I've come closer to the truth, which will probably be never. But there is no news. There is only punditry, and all of it is an expression of arguments. And you've got to work out which particular argument you want to be, which particular argument you already are, which particular arguments do you are already do you want to challenge, and which particular arguments you'd like to adopt in the future, and why, and to see whether those arguments are right or not, or indeed right for you or not. You know, being a political person, especially being on the internet, is actually pretty complex.